Well, hello there, and welcome back to Freeform Disney. So we're up to another episode of Bad Batch, and hey, if you're new here, I'm Jeremy, and yeah, we're up to episode 5, right? Out of 16. So this will be almost the third of the way through. And let's see, hello there to Matthew Finn, or hello there. I see 2 highs from you, so double hello there. So yeah, here we are once more. I'm hoping we're a little more back to form after the last one, but I mean, we'll see what we see. Hello there to Maximilian, who thinks we're in for a spicy one tonight. I didn't look at anything else, any leaked titles or anything, so probably something in the leaked title there on that one. Let's see. As I said, I certainly hope so. We need something more after the last one. Although, in fairness, again, we did go ahead and bring in, our good old Fennec Shan bounty hunter there. So that was fun. I wish it was in service of a better episode. And heck, we saw Pantora, and Pantora was pretty neat. Hello there to Kevin. No info, just a gut feeling on the spicy one. Well, I'm hoping so too. So here's hoping. Here is definitely hoping. So, we'll see if it comes out early again. As usual, we're here, we're ready just in case it comes out a little bit early. If not, well, I guess we'll start at midnight like usual. Again, it'll be interesting in a couple weeks to see what happens. If we're still just on the midnight timing or if we're a little early this time around. But, yeah. So let's see, what did everyone else think of episode 4? I don't know if you were all around with me last week, but feel free to drop it in there. Go ahead and tell me what you thought there, what you're hoping to see here, say, in episode 5. But yeah, hoping we have a little bit longer. I think episode 4 was one of the shortest of the bunch, too, while we're at it. So definitely hoping for one that's a little bit longer as well, and hopefully we'll get to see a little more of what's going on with the Empire / over on Camino, I'm hoping, maybe. Although, I'm okay if it's pure Bad Batch, too, as long as we've really got something going. Let's not have the ship need to be repaired again. But we've done that twice, in a row. We can do something else this week. Although we might be sending them off to that other planet and get a bit of something to threaten them and shift them away. It was kind of one of my predictions on where it might go, because I could definitely see creature feature that way. Although if we're going to slow down, I hope we'd use the chance to be a little more introspective, a little more character drama if we're going to do that. And if we do it, it would also be a good opportunity to also jump away somewhere else, I think. So I'm okay with that as long as it's done right. So yeah, see what we see. Let's see, what else? Not a whole lot of giant Star Wars news here lately, I don't think. Hello there to Geek Girl. Welcome. Got a few people in the house tonight. But yeah, as I said, this has not exactly been our biggest week for Star Wars news, but we still got plenty of stuff coming up. I think some of the other stuff on Star Wars news, I mean, what am I thinking about recently? Yeah. I just don't think it's been a big week as I think about it. Tiny little things here or there. Kevin definitely watched episode 4 with everyone live last week. So definitely did watch episode 4. No doubt right there. No doubt right there at all. Let's see. And I was going to say, if we want Star Wars news, oh look, Igloo has released a new Star Wars cooler collection with a whole galaxy of designs, says Rolling Stone. Not exactly anything big. Unless talking about cooler collections is big. Yeah, rumors abound. That is for sure right there. one of the things being talked about a lot more recently, as I'm thinking about that, is talking about the new Rangers of the New Republic show, which was left off of some of the commentary on things that were in actual production. And so people have been making a lot of that and questioning whether it means more, whether it's actually been stopped, or whether it just hasn't gone into production yet. So that's the question, is exactly fully what's going on behind the scenes. Because the heavy rumor, and it seems to make a lot of sense, was that Cara Dune was going to be the one starring in the Rangers of the New Republic. So at the very least, you have to retool that show without that main character in there. And so that means script rewrites, to say the least. So, yeah. Who knows what kind of delays that may cause or not, or whether they'll shift and do something different entirely. Hard to say. Kevin, episode 5 has not begun yet. Probably in 9 minutes. They haven't been releasing them early yet, so my guess would be it will be on the hour like the last ones have. My guess is maybe in 2 weeks we'll have one that actually drops early. I think it's 2 weeks from now, is it? No, 3 weeks from now. So 3 weeks from now, maybe it'll get dropped early just because Luca's also coming out that day, and that could cause it. In fairness, Cruella comes out today, but it's also one of those Premier Access things, so it probably won't put as much pressure on. Unlike Luca, which has a broad range of appeal and is not going to be Premier Access, it'll just be available to everyone. So that's the week that I'm curious if it'll drop early or not. We'll see. Oh, also Dave Filoni, yes, I was hearing about that recently. Although really he actually was last year, it's just that people didn't notice until now because no big fanfare was made over it, and it happened to get noticed, and it blew up on social media. So, funny stuff. I don't know, if I was Lucasfilm, I would have brought that one out and just like made a big deal of that, like when some of the other bad press was coming out. Say, maybe wait a week after everything happened with Gina Carano, and then I would have made a big press release about Dave Filoni being a creative executive. But yeah, of course, if I was an executive at Lucasfilm, there's a lot of other things I'd do too, but that's another matter. But no, it's funny that no big fanfare was made. It just randomly gets found like a year later, and people think it's completely new. Because, well, yeah, no big deal was made of it. Weird things. So yeah, no, that was definitely big. And hey, I said, let's see. Anything else? Yep. No, I don't get why they haven't done a press release either, right? Again, it seems like an obvious thing. I mean, Dave Filoni is loved by the people who are, fans enough that they're not fans enough. It's a wording I want to use. Well, people who are in the know. People who are the type of fans who actually know the creatives behind things. Let's put it that way. Those types of fans are generally big fans of Dave Filoni. So, like probably most of us here who are talking. Just a guess. So, yeah. Now, as I said, all kinds of stuff Dave's got going on now. Heck, we're watching one of them now. And then, well, man, the Ahsoka show is going to be fun. I mean, I have little doubt on that. Little doubt at all. But so many things to look forward to. Go watch Mighty Duck Game Changers, huh? I have not gone ahead and touched that one right there. I mean, admittedly, there's a whole ton of things to potentially be able to watch. And, I mean, if we're going to talk the big Disney Plus shows that I haven't actually seen, the Mighty Duck Game Changers is one of them. The other one coming out right now is Big Shot that I haven't touched. And Also, I've never watched any of the High School Musical, the series. So, those are the 3 big Disney Plus shows that I have not seen. There are smaller ones that I haven't, but the only big ones. So, yeah. We'll see. Not in any rush to jump out there and see any of them, though. Let's see. I said too many other things to watch right now. Outside of Disney stuff, let's see. Watching Chernobyl right now. So, on a bit of a different note. Let's see. Off topic. Just discovered an oddity, and am I a Tolkien fan? I do enjoy Tolkien. Yes, indeed. I said whether we're talking the books or whether we're talking the movies, either way. So, definitely. I haven't read, like, a lot of the other, Tolkien's other works. So, I can't say that. It's not, as said. But, yeah. And if I ever find time, maybe it'll go on my reading list somewhere. But my reading list is too big that I don't think it would ever pop up to read things like the, what's the big compendium kind of one? The Simulacron? If I said that right? Not wrote it. But, so I know that would be something probably really interesting to go ahead and read. They'll give a lot of other information, say, about the world there. But, yeah. As I said, looking forward to what Amazon's got coming up, whether this year or next year, in terms of the new Lord of the Rings show that'll be set back, like a couple thousand years earlier in the Second Age? So, looking forward to that. Loki coming out soon. Yes, Loki is coming out soon. That is for sure. Definitely looking forward to that. That's, a week and a half away from now on the 9th. So we are getting close. Let's see, another YouTuber posted a documentary on the little-known first adaptation of The Hobbit. Oh, are you talking about the animated thing way back when? I said, because I swear that's my memory. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it. But I think there was an animated original adaptation of The Hobbit. Tell me if I'm right or not, but I think that's my memory. Let's see. Do I think we're going to see Boba? On this episode, I'm going to bet against it. In the course of Bad Batch, I'm going to bet yes. So, I just don't think we're going to see Boba yet, though, not episode 5. But certainly within the course of Bad Batch, yeah. I also think it's probably one of the good chances to go ahead and get that Boba Fett Cad Bane fight in there. So, yeah, definitely hoping so. And being Dave Filoni and whatnot, I think he'll use the excuse to go ahead and find a way to get that piece that was written and created and fitted into here, or, into somewhere anyway, if not this. Geek Girly say I might be thinking of Baki's, but there's something else even earlier in that. Oh, wow. Okay. So, no, I guess I don't even know what that is. I'll have to check that out. Interesting. Interesting. Is Loki going to be Wanda 2.0? Well, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure where to go with that. My initial reaction is no. If we're talking about the show, the shows have a very different feel to them from what we've seen. Loki's much more, I guess the idea of spy thriller with some humor, Loki style. Whereas Wanda, of course, was a giant sitcom as far as WandaVision was concerned. If we're talking about the characters, certainly Wanda is one of the more mixed characters as far as being pulled toward the dark, shall we say. Whereas Loki is the opposite side, pulled toward the light sometimes. So, in that sense, I'd say they're a little different too. And this should be the older Loki that really was much more on the dark side, shall we say. Being that he comes from the original Avengers movie as opposed to what we did with Ragnarok and where we really changed his character there at that point. So I assume he'll still be the old style Loki that way. Could be wrong. Who knows? I have to see it to find out for sure. Anyone know how old Omega is? I don't know if have we gotten an exact answer on that? I don't think we have. I think we're all just making guesses. And bear in mind, we're also assuming whether she's aged at a faster rate or whether she hasn't. So, a lot of questions. Hoping for crazy theories like Wanda. Oh, I think there's all kinds of potential for some crazy theories in Loki. And hey, we've got an episode. Looks like it is about the length of the last one right there. Actually, a little shorter. It says 26 minutes, but it's 25:21, which makes it the shortest of the episodes yet. Of course, minus, say, like 4 minutes of localization, so a little shorter than that even. Okay, so everybody start going ahead and getting that episode up and ready so we can get going. Remember, put it over in here in the chat if you are having any problems going ahead and getting your episode ready. And hey, if you are new here and you are just now seeing this, make sure you pull up your episode on whatever service you've got it. Disney Plus. I don't know if anywhere else, frankly, but Disney Plus. And then I'll count you on in, and up above me there will be a timer over my head, and that will go ahead and let you resync up if for some reason things get missynced or somehow. Okay. Check the chat while everybody else is getting the episode up and ready, so we're ready to start. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to click that like button down there. Down there. Definitely helps out. Definitely does. He's just waiting for Mephisto because of the window. Yes, I know, since he was in the background there. And we've all been waiting to go ahead and see him pop up. Definitely playing for some misdirection as far as the WandaVision show is concerned. The Baki we're thinking of. Interesting. Well, maybe it's the Baki I'm thinking of. I have no idea. I'll have to look at it. Heard that 5 times. Heard something. Oh. The whole count you in, timer over the head piece. Yeah. Just got to put it in there. I mean, if I've got somebody who's seen this one for the first time, I don't want them not to go ahead and know all that. As that would be a bit of a pain. I always get, especially when it's premiere episodes, I always get people asking, hey, what's up with the timer? Or, et cetera, et cetera. So always good to have things like that put in there so people can catch it. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody saying they're having any problems, so we're going to get ready to go ahead and start. Did I say hello there, Dr. Stephen Harlan? If not, hello there, Dr. Stephen Harlan. I don't think I did. Okay, everybody. So everyone ready? We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Who would win Avengers versus Bad Batch? Probably Avengers by quite a long ways. I mean, if we're talking power levels, they're incredibly different. Very, very different power levels. Although at this point, we're starting to have to ask what lineup of the Avengers, but even so. Rampage is the name of the episode tonight. Oh, jeez. She has to go ahead and say the copy that in there too, though. Speaking of jumping around the galaxy. Oh, that Gog droid. Okay. So someone the Jedi all trusted on Ord Mantell. Ooh, nice. Look at this. And we're getting to show off some planets in here. Oh, so quick, but I love it. Of course, once you're down at this level, they start looking a little more similar. Oh yeah, me too. I love Rutgers. Yeah, I said constantly exercising. It so makes sense for him. He's definitely that type of character. Yeah, that's what I was wondering too there, Gay Girl. I don't remember Ord Mantell appearing in any show or movie prior to this. Bearing in mind that I haven't finished the very end of Rebels, but aside from that, and I haven't seen Resistance. So. It's funny, that voice just doesn't quite feel like what I'd expected coming out of her there. Another cool character, though. A creature build on this hitter. I love the drink dispensers. Always keeping that all the way back from A New Hope. Using the comm device still. By the way, back to Omega. They all missed it. She caught it. By the way, definitely would have missed who the hell they were coming here for. Is she from the comics or something, maybe? Or she reminds me a bit of Dax, by the way. Just in terms of demeanor. Here's how they get started as mercenaries. Ah, that's nice between her and Rucker. Ligurian slavers coming back in. This was in the trailer too, which seemed like where we probably ran into Rex too. Mm-hmm. We should have tried to negotiate a little harder on that there. I love how they get into being mercenaries here. So we started that up already. What do I mean? Have to be more specific, I'm not sure. You're talking to clones, you know. Certainly, objecting to slaves. The clone piece is messy here. Talking about Omega? Omega's cool. Oh, maybe you were talking about how Omega and Wrecker shared a little bit of a, well, it's a low five there. It was after Sid. What? Yeah, Sid. Anyway, after Sid went ahead and said she was the brains of the operation. Nice. Some older architecture in here. Yeah, me too, yeah, girl, me too. I'm guessing that is what it is. Especially continue to bring it in here brings it right back up. And as a storyline, it's a good direction to go. I think I don't want to see that happen to Wrecker, but as a storyline, add some extra creatures in here. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I remember those creatures from the Zygerian slavers back in the Clone Wars arc. Oh, I can't think of their name off the top of my head. Was that Huttese? Yeah, it sounded like Huttese, no? Shoddy exposition. uh, oh yeah, I agree. Definitely nice to see some beasts coming in. But yeah, those are the ones that we had over on Zygeria back where Anakin and the Zygerian Queen were riding on them. Definitely those creatures. Pretty cool. Could be wrong, but I think they look like those. Which is a nice church to play as the Zygerians there. Hey, she's the brains of the operation, you know. Nice. It's a lot of defense for one potential slave slash captive. A little too noticeable, though. Don't recognize him, I don't think. Republic doesn't even exist. The Empire still might have a problem with it, officially. Speaking of Omega actually having things to do in the show. Nice record. Kadava was the moon that they actually held a lot of the slaves at, right? Ah, yeah, gay girl. Yes, the Trandoshans had a thriving slave trade under there. But probably off the books. I doubt it's an official thing, even with the Empire. The creature from the thumbnail image right there. We have a Rancor, it looks like. It's an interesting stylistic version of a Rancor. Enjoying it, though. The Rancor, yes. Oh, we actually had the bow and arrow there. So that's where it comes from. Ah, the Zagurians, of course, it makes sense. When I say bow and arrow, it's really more like probably a bolt shooter, I'm gonna guess. Here's a question, too. Since we have a Rancor in, is there any possible chance they'll actually require the Bad Batch to take the Rancor back to Dathomir? Then we could see Dathomir in there, too, and maybe run into some Dathomiri witches or something. Well, I mean, the witches are kind of gone, but... Well, anyway, something. I mean, we're having fun showing off different planets in the galaxy right now, so we might go to Dathomir. Oh, good point, gay girl, yes. Speaking of hot teas, here's our Rancor. Could be a juvenile of the one Luke fought, to be sure. I think that would contradict what was Legends if my memory serves, but I mean, it's Legends now, so... Because the original backstory was way back in the Tales from Jabba's Palace, if my memory serves. Because we actually had one of the stories given was the one from the keeper of the Rancor, the big guy, who cried over his death. But it feels like it's a reveal coming later, too, on who was speaking Huttese, the way we did that. Mm-hmm. Nice. Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I think they're ignoring the book, too. Which, again, it's their prerogative, and, again, I think I commented before, but Dave Filoni takes that straight from George Lucas in that sense, right? George Lucas would have ignored it as well. I mean, Lucas, yeah, certainly would never have let a book or anything else like that stand in his way of what he did. And I think Dave Filoni takes very directly after that. Oh, you just see Wrecker against an adolescent Rancor. That's fun. I'm waiting to watch her use it, though. Because we get to see her use it in the trailer, too, so I'm waiting for that to pop up here a little bit later. Fight him to a standstill there. No, George didn't consider the books canon per se, but Lucasfilm at the time did. Ah, it's Bib Fortuna himself. Now Dave's killed him off and brought him in for an earlier appearance. I'll have to wait till another episode to watch Omega use the bone, though, it looks like. Nice. Definitely better than last week's episode. Definitely. Oh, I enjoyed it. Yes. We're having fun going ahead and showing more of the galaxy. We're bringing in characters here. Oh, yeah. And we're continuing both our character development of some of our characters as well as the overall plot development and connecting them up into becoming mercenaries. So this is nice. This was definitely good right here. It was solid all the way through. Went ahead and kept the action flowing. Nice, yes. I said, the third, as much as, it had some dark stuff, I loved it, and I'm going to say I like this one better than the third episode as well. And it looks like all of you are also agreeing that you really like this one here too, so nice. I was wondering how they were going to connect up to becoming mercenaries and where they're going to start doing it from, and, well, we got the answer. Although, they're clearly not quite there yet, so that's actually going to be interesting over the next episode or two, maybe, let's say, to see them go. It looks like Sid is CID in this, huh? Well, or maybe that's just a different language version. Very nice. I'll stop the timer. No need for that going right now. But yes, Sid is CID. It's an interesting spelling there. Move the chat over here so it's a little less me looking this way over here and going, oh, hey, look over there. Not that bad, but still. At least if I move the chat over here, I can look a little more toward the camera. Yeah, it definitely looks like Sid is roping them into mercenary stuff. Agreed. And they're going to need to. I mean, this was something we always knew was going to happen as far as the show was concerned. So, no big surprise that they're heading off to be mercenaries. But there we go. We have gone ahead and definitely given them the initial push it that direction. And I don't know what's going to give them the push to go the rest of the way there. Something's going to do it, but right now they're not quite willing to do it. But yeah, they'll be there. They'll be there. Something they're going to need some more money for. Who knows, maybe this ship will get damaged again. They need money for repairs. Kevin always with the verses in here, right? Bad Batch versus the Ghost Crew. Well, the Ghost Crew has Jedi in it. That probably makes it a little unfair between the two. Obviously, either side getting a drop on the other would probably go ahead and win that side, but otherwise, probably the side with the two Jedi. Depends on the time frame for each two. So, but off the bat. Omega got a power up with the bowcaster. Yes, indeed. It's going to be fun to see her use it soon. I'm imagining she'll get a shot next week, but we will see. We shall see. It's my guess. And Rex should be popping up soon, right? Gotta go look at the trailer on that scene, but I'm also guessing it won't be too far in. I like the idea. It was tossed out by some of you, I think, even talking about mid-season for Rex. It seems about right, and we're starting to work our way that way. We're episode 5, so episode 8 and 9 is the halfway point of the season. So we're getting there. I mean, 3-4 more weeks. Definitely a little while to go still. And it would be interesting. I don't really see Jabba or whatnot coming back in here, but there's an interesting side to having Wrecker actually have a relationship with our Rancor over there in Jabba's palace. That could be really interesting if they got into some trouble, but we'll see. I don't really think anything will. Geek Girl, the setups almost remind you of the A-Team show. I think maybe I've seen an episode or two, but yeah, I can hear you on that one. Certainly, it also plays heavy on those tropes for the different roles and whatnot as well. And certainly, we have well-defined roles here within our Bad Batch group as well. And dang if Omega's not starting to pop right in there. And intriguingly, with the bowcaster, in a way, she takes a bit of Crosshair's spot. Because that means she'll have a bit of the long range going the way he would. So it's interesting how we're, in a way, slotting her a little into that spot, while also having a lot else going on. Especially with those force sensitivities right there. Just like how she figured out that she was Sid. Pretty sure that's what was going on with that. Pretty dang sure that's what was going on there. Again, she definitely has a big empathy side and connection side to other people and creatures through the Force. And we saw it again here. But I wonder when everyone's going to really make that connection, because she hasn't made that connection yet, and it doesn't seem like anyone else has really made it. Ah, yes, you're right, Gay Girls. She did already show that her marksmanship was good way back in the first episode, so yeah, definitely, no kidding there. We're going to get to see how fast she learns this new weapon, too. So yeah, no, it's going to be good. And that'll give her a lot more of a real position within how the team's working in a normal sense. Because then we get to have her be a bit more the lookout, a bit more of the sniper, etc., etc. So, yeah. And I think the Batch will probably like it to a degree, because that keeps her out of the main bit of harm's way by putting her off back in the background. So it probably works to everyone's advantage, shall we say. Okay. So episode 5 down. Episode 6 next week. Then the week after that, well, heck, we'll be live streaming even more stuff the week after that. Because that will be when Loki starts up, and then we'll have Bad Batch. So, all kinds of stuff coming up soon. It definitely seems that she is force sensitive. Yeah, exactly. Might take a Jedi to sense it in her. That's an interesting point, too. Yeah, it definitely would be a certain excuse to bring Ahsoka in eventually. And it's Dave Filoni. Can he really keep Ahsoka out of the entire series? I just don't think he can. He can't help himself right there. But the Rancor is a girl. Interesting question. No idea. No idea. I don't remember enough of anything about Rancors to have a better memory on that point. How many episodes are there? From what I know, I've heard 16. So, as I said, that means we're just under a third of the way through. And bearing in mind that the first episode was the length of like 3 episodes anyway, maybe a little more depending on how you look at it, then heck, that makes it already like 18-ish episodes. Assuming there are no other extra long ones, which, who knows, maybe we get a giant finale like we got a giant opening. I won't hold my breath for it, but too constant with Dave. Ahsoka and wolves. Yes, indeed. Ahsoka and wolves. In the same sense, I'd be surprised if we don't run into the Mandalorians at all during the course of Bad Batch. There's some stuff to go over there and look at. Especially Bo-Katan and her fall from grace over on Mandalore and her losing the leadership. And we could definitely see an excuse to go ahead and pop over there in the course of Bad Batch. So I could see that pop up sometime. Who knows, that might be a Season 2 thing or a Season 3 thing. It doesn't have to be here in Season 1. And probably not in Season 1. Actually, if I'm going to make a bet, I don't think it's happening here. But they could have some kind of mercenary mission to head off to Mandalore for this, that, or the other. And that could put them there at like a key time and we could actually see some of those events. So I'm going to make you a bet. Season 2 or 3, we pop over to Mandalore. Just a bet. So we've seen a few planets that we haven't gotten to see here within the shows and movies yet. Getting to see Ord Mantell now, too. Pantora, the other episode. Makes you wonder what else we're going to get to see. Yeah, still hoping the Boba and Cad Bane shootout. Me too. I'm betting season 2 on that as well, though. Or 3. I mean, we might see Boba before that, but I'm betting the shootout between them will actually shift a little later. I'm betting we'll build to that one a little bit more. After all, you'd also want to build up both Boba and Cad Bane a little within this show, I think, first. With them becoming more into the mercenary side of things, could give us excuses for them to even potentially work with Boba or Cad Bane. Which, if they're going to be uncomfortable with being mercenaries, working with Boba Fett or Cad Bane, that could be interesting to see them working. Yeah, it could be all kinds of fun. Or heck, even them working with Fennec Shand eventually. That I could definitely see as well. So yeah, I mean, it'd be a fun thing because they were on cross purposes before, but hey, she's just a mercenary. It's nothing personal. So they could definitely work together later down the line. What do I think the series is getting good? Well, I think the series is good. I think it started strong out of the gate. Had a little bit of a misstep the other episode, and the third episode, while had some really great moments, didn't tie together as strongly in one cohesive piece as I think it could have, even though it had a number of good pieces in it. And then this one is definitely more of a return to form here. So no, I think Bad Batch has been good. Easily the strongest of the animated shows out of the gate. No question. I mean, Clone Wars and Rebels are not anywhere near as strong out of the gate. To get to this kind of level of strength, we're talking not even season 1 on those shows. So, yeah. And Resistance I haven't seen, so bearing that in mind. Not that from anything I know that it's that strong out of the gate. And some people would say it's not that strong at all, so yeah, I don't know. Haven't seen it though. Yeah, Stephen Ireland, lots of angles and depth, agreed. And we're going to get to, it really feels like we're going to get to see a lot of what's going on in the galaxy and how things are changing as they go, as the Empire starts to take control more and more of an iron fist, shall we say. And that definitely, I think, is going to be fun. Watching the clones start to get phased out, watching them shift over to being in their training roles to go train their replacement stormtroopers. Number of interesting things we're going to get to see. And from this interesting perspective of our, well, they're not ex-clones, but our Bad Batch clones who used to be within it and are now as mercenaries here. Which actually is an interesting thing on its own right. If you look at the shows, let's see, we had Clone Wars, which was very Republic-sided with everything. We have Rebels, so we've got the Rebels out on the outside. And we haven't really had anything that's strong Empire, although we get a bit of Empire here in Bad Batch, intriguingly. But now at this point, we've got a little scum and villainy coming in, right? Just because we've got our mercenaries. Because it will be. And again, heck if that doesn't give an excuse to run into Cad Bane and Boba Fett more, and Fennec Shand, and, well, all kinds of other potential mercenaries that might be around, and they might run into, say, Bosk, maybe. Go ahead and say, I mean, we could see IG-88 in there. That would be cool. I don't think, has IG-88 popped into any shows? I don't think he ever has. I'd love to see IG-88 pop in. Although IG-88 is not exactly somebody you work with too much. Yeah, exactly, Stephen Ireland. IG-88, indeed. Geek Girl saying, yeah, Resistance isn't strong. Dave only did conception and not the larger work on it, and it shows. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, with all of that, I think it's probably time to get rolling and moving along. So I am probably going to go cut out. If you have something you want to say quickly, make sure to pop it in there quick. Otherwise, I'm going to probably go ahead and get dashing on off. You too, Stephen Ireland, right there. kind of rolling all together so as if it was one word. So you too, Stephen Harlan. Magical dreams indeed. So to everyone, have a magical day, night, evening, morning, whatever it might happen to be over in your time. And may the force be with you. Always.